Fantastic stuff. I can't wait for this game, honestly.
I think we're both in the same mentality. So, ladies and gents, let's get ready for that first map. It is Dust2. Obviously, on the T side, it will be LDLC. Virtus.pro style on the CT side. Your prediction on this map, who's going to take it right here?
As I said, Virtus.pro are the favourites. You know, LDLC picked Dust2. The best way to get the nerves out of the way, as they said in the analysis room. And they start T side, they can, you know, we'll see what they work towards here. And stuff, and taking it calm, you know, like I said, just getting the nerves out the way, getting a feel for the opponents, and that's what's needed. It's a best of three. They're not going to win or lose the competition here.
Well, it looks like they are going to be making their move. LDLC starting that push through the double doors, and Apex cracks it open with a lovely little double, and the pressure towards B will begin. Taz sits in, gets taken down, and can you believe it, LDLC, every man still alive, fairly weak, let's bear in mind, but the bomb is planted. This is the perfect start.
Just the start they wanted, just the start they needed. You know, now they're feeling good, they're feeling confident, they've pretty much got this one in the bag. Something magical from Bialy to bring this one in. The frag will be good for Virtus.pro though, just to get that mental, and then they don't get it. So a 5-for-0 exchange in the first round for LDLC. Good start for them.
Big play from Apex there, picking up the triple to actually open this one up. And as you said, this is so important for LDLC. They're a team, as well as Virtus.pro, let's be honest here, that depends on that confidence to get building, to get it going early. And these, not young players, they are still veterans at this LDLC, but maybe young to this sort of pressure now into CSGO, let's say. To get that first round against Virtus.pro, the reigning champions, that's got to feel good. That has got to get a little bit of those nerves put to bed.
That's what they wanted. That's the start they needed. Now, you know, we've seen what's happened in the past with these ecos. You know, they can easily throw it away here, but I'm sure they're well aware of what's been happening. I'm sure they'll take this one nice and easy, keep a feel for it. Don't get pressure. Looks like we're in a bit of a pause here.
Yeah, I think there may be just a keyboard issue. But that should be fixed nice and quickly. But now, let's spin this one around. Let's look at it from Virtus.pro. You don't pick up the first pistol. Where does your mind go there? Is it just, okay, next round, wipe it clean?
That's exactly right. These guys are professional. They're seasoned professionals. They've done this, you know, many times before. They know. Counter-Strike is a game of rounds. That's the beauty of it. Each and every round is up for grabs. There's 5 kills. 5 kills that will give you the round, and or a bomb plant. So, you know, they know. They're professionals. They're probably not out to win the round. They're probably out to just, you know, take some guns off them, you know, bring their money down for the future rounds. And, you know, we'll see what they can do, so...
Okay.
I'm sure they're not nervous, they're not upset. I'm sure they're still feeling good and confident, as are LDLC, and so they should be with a fantastic start.
Okay, so let's start looking towards what the CT side might be going for now into this sort of second round. Obviously, losing out on the first, you're going to see a couple of CZs, to say the least. They are currently in favour. A bit of an understatement to say the minimum of that one, but what sort of impact can they make? What is the best way to play this through if you now know that the team up against you at minimum, or maximum, should I say, will have at least rifles, or maybe, you know, something a little different, but generally around that mark, it was a very clean round from the T side. Now you're Virtus.pro, what do you do to counter that? Is there something you're going for here? Taz, getting a little bit of head armor on, Pasha as well, looking like he's got something building. Yep. What sort of player we
look at their buys. They want to win this round. I mean, they're looking for mistakes from LDLC. They're looking for that excitement, if you will. Not that they're inexperienced, but as opposed to them, Virtus.pro are out to capitalise on any mistakes that are made. And if LDLC don't make any, they should be able to take this round out. Otherwise,
let's find out if mistakes are going to be made. Pasha does go first. Happy going to pick him up quite kindly. They're happy with the second and the third. Snacks goes down. Very well played. Yep. And that is a team that people thought might be nervous, looking very calm.
No. And that's exactly what they need. It's exactly what they need for the second round. On the anti-ecos, they need their guy that are watching those extremities to make those frags, to not allow them to get into the round. That's exactly what they've done.
Perfect play. Taz does find Apex, gets himself the AK smoke. Well, follow, bomb planted, however, so you can imagine this will go the way we expect. Taz is down to 11 HP, so minimal to say the least, but I can imagine LDLC might consider having a little peek, and Maniac will find Taz, and this is 2 very clean rounds. I think they've only lost Apex so far, and a vast amount of bomb plants. They are playing absolutely on point here. Yeah,
absolutely. It's exactly the start they wanted. If they can keep this momentum going and hopefully take out this one, and at this point, they're not out to win the game right now. They need to get this round without any deaths. From a terrorist point of view, from where they are right now, they don't want to lose any players. They've got them on the back foot, and if they can keep the numbers up all throughout the whole round, they will get into the Virtus.pro minds, if you will.
Well, let's see what we've got going down here. it does seem as though a little bit of a split, taking the time. As you said, a lot of pressure and weight on this round. LDLC want to play it as cleanly as possible. However, Virtus.pro trying to get a little cheeky stack there. Taz does get taken down, but Apex pushing in again. A key player so far for LDLC. Pierced through, but it's Maniac to find Neo. And it looks clinical so far, and it might be staying that way. Uzi finds one, finds a second, and the third would be picked up with the nade from Happy. So again, perfectly played out. This is clinical.
Absolutely, absolutely. We talk about how easy it is to lose these anti-ecos nowadays. Not only do they win those anti-ecos, they've only lost 2 players in the first 3 rounds. That's the start they needed. Let's see what they can take from there.
Let's start looking from Virtus.pro's point of view here. LDLC, phenomenal start. Perfect near on. First gun round coming in. What is the mentality of Virtus.pro here? If you were in their shoes, clean slate, or do you start getting a little worried?
No, Virtus.pro, it's still early in the game. I mean, wow, what a shot from Apex. No, as I was saying, they want to stick to the game plan. They want to do what they spoke about already. I'm sure they're not down and out, even with that first frag.
Well, let's get back to that, because right now Pasha was waiting to receive, but the A push did begin then. And right now we are sitting at a 4v3 situation in favor to LDLC. Bialy put himself in the site, but LDLC don't seem rushed. They're still happy to take their time, it seems.
No, great revenge, a revenge like that. Now they're taking their time. It's exactly what they should be doing.
Well, let's see where they take this. Time is of the essence. Still a lot to work with. 1 minute and 3 seconds. No need to panic here for the T side. They're building themselves up. Bialy is still on a Taz sitting around in mid. Happy might actually go for a peek here. He's going to spot out one. That's Taz down. That is going to open things up. But Neo, waiting in the wings, does get the tag back. So at the moment, good exchanges in favor to the T side, and it looks like that B push is about to begin. So Neo does get smashed down by Kelly, but Bialy, nothing to do here. And this is once again LDLC looking very clinical, and they've nearly looked like it was back in those pistols where it was very one-sided.
Look, a fantastic entry from Apex early in that round. Put Virtus.pro on the back foot there, and they got a frag back, but with a perfect revenge, it allowed them to do what they want mid-game, and mid-round, sorry. And here we see a dominant round for LDLC.
So, big round coming in for LDLC. Bomb will be going off any second now, and they will continue the hunt. I think they know that AWP will probably be in the hands of Bialy by now, and he's going to tuck himself away and try and pretty much stick alive and stay alive, and see if maybe you can catch one on the way out, but mostly see if you can keep that AWP. To possession, he does.
Wow.
What? How did no one find him? Finally, Kelly takes him down, but not exactly the way you'd want to go around that one.
That's very bad for Virtus.pro, because you know, the situation that they are and what just happened, you know. But look, that's a big kill for LDLC. I know they had that round in the bag, but they've taken that AWP off them. First gun round. Good work by LDLC.
Well, let's find out. Going to round number 5, LDLC currently 4-0 up. Overall surprised to see the T's winning these pistols these days, but to convert the first gun round for LDLC, that has got to be doing wonders for them. And let's find out if they can get any more. Obviously, CT side of Virtus.pro are down to these CZs. Nothing too great, a couple of P250s in the mix, but all in all, still very dangerous, as we've seen so far in this tournament, the CZs. You can't really underestimate them, but I think LDLC are playing the pace perfectly. They're building up Bialy. Might go for a little bit of a peek here. He could catch a couple off guard, but LDLC seem aware, seem ready, and look like they're going to find it. There we go. So Apex does find Bialy. He is down. And it's just so smooth for LDLC. They look like they've got this planned to the absolute letter. Yeah, they look well prepared for this. It all comes down to entries at the moment so far. It's what's been working against Virtus.pro are the entry frags. Smack's not going to get anything, sadly. And there we go. Finally, Pasha does get himself in this game, taking down Mania, but immediate revenge kills coming in every time here.
And that's what's needed. At this level of the game, it's all about the revenge kills. That's what took them out the first gun round. And look, now they're capitalising. They're feeling good. You have a look at them, you can see they're confident. They're not getting carried away. They're not going to make any mistakes. And that's probably what they're telling one another. That's what they're thinking inside their heads. Let's not get carried away. This isn't over yet. And that's the mentality needed. At this level, at this stage, against these opponents, it's not over yet.
Well, we are going to be seeing Pasha now picking up that AWP. Big round coming from Virtus.pro. They definitely want this one on the board. Otherwise, there might be that small little bit of worry building. Just let's see how it goes down. Honestly, a lot of time to work with here. No rush for these guys. Pasha looking for the opener with that AWP in hand. Boosted up, actually, so interesting to see how this one plays out. He does catch a glimpse of one. Not going to land too much, however. And once again, LDLC seem near on unfazed by this.
Absolutely, LDLC doing well. Virtus.pro are on the back foot right now. I'm sure the situation that they've put in, especially losing that AWP, the way he lost it. That sort of stuff plays into your mind. You see a teammate lose a gun like that when he was trying to save it. They're not trying to win the round, but these are the little objectives that they need when they are losing rounds. So, you know, perfect time for LDLC to capitalise on what looks a little bit nervy, a little bit shaken up Virtus.pro.
But this could be dangerous. Snax is waiting, and there's Bialy coming in, finding Apex, finally doing damage to the Frenchman as the second repeat comes out, and finally everything falls into place.
That's it.
But leaving Happy, the last man alive, in a 1v4. Surely not going to get anything out of this, but that was what they needed, Virtus.pro. What was the difference there?
Exactly.
How did that finally come into play?
Ultimately, it came down to making their shots. Initially, LDLC were making the entries and, you know, revenging well, as opposed this time Virtus.pro made the entries and then they revenged well, which opens up the round for them. So a good round for them to get those nerves off their shoulders, if you will.
You definitely start wanting that first round. Once you see that scoreline building and building and building, it seems like it's a bigger hurdle every single time.
But these guys are professionals. They've been in these situations many times before. Many times before.
Yeah, still very early games. Obviously very early in the rounds as well. Obviously only 7 rounds in so far. 5-1, however, is the scoreline. Surprisingly in favour to LDLC so far, and that is a perfect beginning for them. All play takes down Bialy. Pasha trying to find an answer to this, but there's no avenging kills for Virtus.pro at this point.
Absolutely. I'd love to see what happens for the rest of this round, because just after losing that their first round, they come up with a big entry frag. You know, 15 seconds into the round, that's exactly what they wanted, LDLC, exactly what VP didn't. And see what they can conjure up here with a man advantage.
It looks like the attention is being brought at least towards A. There's Pasha waiting on that side, probably one of the men you don't want to really run into at this moment. But still, let's see how LDLC find this execution. They have still around a minute to go here, but Pasha goes for the peak, gets it on the second try, and that's avenging at least his fallen teammate earlier on, bringing it back down to that 4v4. And Snax once again in a possibly huge situation. Smoke around him. Pasha's found another, and here comes Snax with the double, taking down LDLC and leaving just Apex alive, and he will be dealt with by Pasha, and that's a big round for Virtus.pro.
Absolutely. They were a man down early on. They regrouped. They didn't panic, if you will. LDLC perhaps could have played that a bit better. That maybe they were trying to force some rotators around because of that early frag, but they followed through with the same bomb site. Perhaps a great frag from Pasha early on, and great positioning. Snax getting a double there, making it look easy.
Yeah, and I've got to say, when Virtus.pro seem to get that control through short, both rounds seem to be coming off the back of that sort of aspect. Do you think that might force a bit of an adaptation from LDLC, or are they just still working their way into this? It's still early at this moment.
I think the way they've been playing the first few rounds, I'm sure they're confident. They're happy to have them there. They want to take them on. They're confident. You know, they'll headshot them first. Unfortunately, not this time for Apex though.
And we know the danger of Virtus.pro. Once that confidence is there beside them, once those rounds come in, those kills, they seem to follow back to back to back. And right now, Neo has found Uzi. That is a perfect play towards mid, utilizing this one well and just understanding
the positioning. Very confident play from Neo to creep through a smoke like that, to spot those mid doors, getting the frag, getting what his team needed. Now they're in a 5v2 situation. I'm sure they're feeling pretty better this one.
Now, if you're in LDLC shoes right here, right now, where'd you take yourself? Is it time to get running?
There's 45 seconds left in the round. They're doing exactly what they need to do. They went for frags in separate parts of the map. Unfortunately, one couldn't get it, the other did. You know, in a 2v5 situation with so much time left, I'm sure great players like these, they'll never give up. They'll go to the end. You know, they just need to make those frags even when they're down and out, and bring it back to a 2 versus 3, if you will, and then do something from this situation. Virtus.pro too strong, holding the ground and getting another round.
Yeah, 3-5 is that current scoreline. Your currently reigning champions, Virtus.pro, are building themselves into this one. LDLC's plans slowly being held in place by Pasha there, opening
Fantastic
up again. That confidence must be right beside him. The second won't follow so easily.
Absolutely. This is not what LDLC want.
No, definitely not. They're being questioned on every single turn, and Apex feeling confident gets stopped. Pasha finding form early on here. And now 3 possible victims stand. He's going to find another. Pasha with the triple. Just taking LDLC out one by one and making it look so easy.
Absolutely. This is what Legends are made of. An easy 3 down. They're in a 5v2 situation now. Pasha's done his job. You'll see now, he'll probably take it easy. He'll take it calm. Professionals, they won't get too frag hungry. He'll rotate, There he is. Capitalised. That's a 4 down.
Oh.
That's well played. Absolutely well played by Pasha. Now he wants it.
And he gets it. That's the 5. Pasha, ladies and gents.
Well done.
Wow, what a stunning round.
That's what it is.
And you've got to give credit to that man. He searched those frags out. He found everyone in not exactly an easy place either.
That's experience. That's class. That's making your shots. He got 3 frags in one spot. He rotated. He said, you know what, I don't need any more right now. I'll let my team step in. He went, he rotated. They rotated with him, and then they went to him. Beautiful. Well played, Pasha. Well deserved those. Fantastic stuff.
And in the mentality of LDLC here, if you were in their shoes, now pushed back down after such a... Oh, my word, Pasha finds another. It's against an eco, but the CZs, they do cause some pain, but it looks like Virtus.pro are finding their footing here. But back to the point, LDLC now had such confidence at the start. How do you get yourselves back into this? How do you get that confidence back when Pasha is doing this to you?
These are the questions. These are the life questions. Lauren, listen, what the problem with that first round, that ace round was, he TD'd, they got a team down, and then they resorted to an eco. That forced them into the eco. So they know they needed to win that round to not eco. So not only did they lose that round, they got teamed down. So now the confidence, the juggernaut has started over here with the Virtus.pro type. Yeah. Pasha, he's into it. He's hungry. He's feeling good.
Let's see if finally LDLC can maybe chip away at what is building the storm behind Virtus.pro right now. 5-5. Still early games. This is a best of 3. I keep getting the mentality of a best of 1, but we have possibly 3 maps here. But this man on your screen keeps going. He'll be over in 2, and he's looking, and he's not gonna find it. Happy will stop it this time. Not gonna get a second though. Avenging kills this time, seemingly in the pockets of Virtus.
That's it. That's what Virtus.pro need. That's fine. I mean, Pasha's down, but a 1-for-1 exchange. That's what they need. That's what LDLC needs. That's a good exchange from LDLC, just as much as it is for Virtus.pro. Happy making a great frag on Pasha, slowing down that juggernaut. Now, see what they do here. We see the CTs rotating around. This is the difference between a good team and a great team. You see the movement here. You see the movement. You see how they've each got. They're almost in a line. They've got each other's backs, and they know that. And they're going to wait for LDLC to make a move here, and we'll see how they react.
Looks like they predicted right over on the Virtus.pro camp. They know where they're building towards, but Maniac has found Taz. He only has to spring into action, but Uzi breaking through. They're building up here, LDLC. The A side looking vulnerable, and the execution then was on point.
Absolutely. And then again, it came down to the Revengers.
So
the entry followed through with the Revenger. Didn't allow Virtus.pro to string kills together. And great work here from LDLC. And again, it comes down to that first frag. Comes down to that first kill. Pasha, you can't criticise him. He wasn't overly hungry, though. He went for the he went to open the round for his team. Happy making a fantastic shot, which led to this round for LDLC.
Right, so 5-6. LDLC get themselves finally another round in. Will they build any more? Let's find out. Obviously, as you said, the opening kills being so vital. Snacks. That was a great look at Snacks' position right now. He is going to be right amongst them. Apex first on. Oh, Apex stops him in his tracks. That is big, but Neo found Kelly as well. So a 1-for-1 trade. Nothing lost, really nothing gained. But take me through that confidence from Snacks. They're going into those lower B tunnels.
Yeah,
is that the confidence getting in?
That is exactly what that is. That is knowing your opponents. That is knowing your own personal capability. And regardless of the scoreline, a team like Virtus.pro, they will always play this way.
Well, Bialy in another bit of a position, a possibility. Take this further. LDLC looking to switch up a little though. Flashes, smokes through Miz. Apex moves in, finds Taz. Pasha stops him, but still very close, even trades. No full commitments yet from LDLC. And at the moment, if they do head the way they are, it could go very badly wrong. 3 players waiting, watching. Pasha, Bialy, and Neo by B. 45 seconds. Where are LDLC going to take this? It looks like they are toying away. I'm waiting to see the full commitment. Don't want to give away too much in case...
That's very well done there by LDLC.
Well, this is nice.
These little things.
They forced it. They forced one player away, but Neo still waits. Happy finds him. That is perfect. And now Pasha lines them up. Not going to find such an easy kill this time. As now the 3 players from LDLC continue to work forward. Maniac's nade will connect. And Bialy left in a 1v3. Bomb yet to go down. He does get it going. So now Bialy weighing up the options. Not much to the arsenal, no smokes, no flashes, no mollies this time. And a smoke by those doors. Time is going to be of the essence here. Uzi to the right, 2 to the left, and it is going to be go time. Bialy gets 1, looks for the second, he gets the second, not the third. Uzi
Great
held
effort.
his nerve,
Great
but
effort in
Bialy got
1v3.
close.
Absolutely. Look, that was a very well played round by LDLC. They were in ended up in a 3v3 situation. They knew that Virtus.pro knew where they were going, so they slowed it down. They threw a couple of smokes, threw a couple of flashes, made them rotate out of B, and then capitalized on that. That's great teamwork there from LDLC. That's earned them that round.
Considering the pressure situation that they did that in, it's phenomenal to be able to do that, to be able to drag your team, to lead them in the opposition from one side to the other. We did see Happy going for the opener there, not going to get it on the first time of passing. Second time catches, I think, Snacks then in the heels.
That is a leg shot, absolutely.
So now, LDLC, first time we've really seen them working towards B there. They did obviously toy with mid a little bit, but at the moment, they seem to be once again happy to slow down the pace here.
And so they should. And so they should. They're in a great position here. LDLC, they're in a fantastic position. They're playing well, they know they are. Virtus.pro, the few rounds they've won has come to individual brilliance, which is, you know, at this level, that's fine. But right now, LDLC are playing much better. Still early in the game, it's easy to say they are terrorist side on Dust2.
Yep.
It's easy for them to have that sort of cohesion and for it to show.
Well, let's find out if that confidence continues with Bialy standing their way. Not for long.
Another great revenge.
So on point with this, but Pasha, as you said, the individual brilliance is there, but it's back and forth consistently. Every kill they get, there is one answering, leaving it still even in the 3v3. The 8 execution is beginning. Maniac's found Taz. Uzi hunts with him, and Uzi will find Snacks, leaving just Neo alive. And time again, as you mentioned, these avenging back and forth kills are huge, but the bomb did not make it across there. Neo keeping hope alive, but it gets put to bed by Maniac, and another round on the board for Team LDLC.
That's just great shooting. That's just great shooting. I think it was Bialy that got that first entry frag that wasn't allowed to capitalize for a double or even a triple. That's great work from LDLC. That's sharp shooting. These are the revenges they need, especially on terrorist side. That's what they need. If they keep going 1-for-1 exchanges, they'll open up the map. They'll get into the bomb sites. They'll get that bomb down. They'll make it very hard for the CT sides here.
Well, CT side now down to a scout, a couple of CZs. Nothing great in the arsenal, but we've seen damage done. I don't want to start underestimating those CZs. They have been such a heavy hitter throughout this tournament, but at the moment, not really going to find that just yet. But Bialy and Snacks are still happy to get quite aggressive here towards short. I'm not sure if Maniac caught a glimpse then, but Bialy will back away. And with 1 minute left, Pasha has found one. Snacks gets 2. Don't tell me this will turn around. I'm getting a little nervous here for LDLC because Neo's found Maniac. They're doing this one with just those CZ pistols. They got themselves 2 AKs and still got that scout in effect. So now, Happy and Uzi, they're in trouble. In LDLC, you can never take this lightly. Even Taz working round. He knows there's going to be one close, and he's going to find a stunner of a shot towards Uzi, and they've turned this right on its head. Just like that,
a 1v4. Fantastic work here from Virtus.pro. And again, it's Pasha. He's stepping up here for Virtus.pro. He's making these entries. He's making these frags. He's keeping his team alive.
And Happy does at least get Bialy now. Bomb is by T-Spawn. I'm pretty sure Taz knows that too. Happy going to have to work for this. 32 seconds left. Not the situation I can imagine they thought this would be, but to underestimate the individual talent, as you highlighted, of Virtus.pro, even with just those CZs, is a mistake. Neo will finish. Happy goes down, and we will be seeing Virtus.pro turning it around. Not just an eco with a scout in play.
That hurts. When you're LDLC, that hurts. That really does. That could have been 9-5
That's a beautiful scoreline.
LDLC, but Virtus.pro happy about that one in final round of the half. We'll see what they can do here for this. LDLC should keep their heads up though. They played an absolutely fantastic first half against LDLC. Virtus.pro, sorry.
Now, let's look at this situation. Because it's turn 1A, we've got a double AWP running with Virtus.pro against a Galil, couple of pistols with LDLC, and let's see if it is going to be the scoreline of maybe 9-6, or the more likely 7-8. So, smokes being put down, LDLC building themselves up again. Nothing really gained just yet, but we're seeing that mid-play come through. Taz will be the first on the line, but Neo's found one. Taz gets the second. Oh, but Neo decides to make it harder for himself. So why not? Let's take down Taz and get more kills for Pasha, as he does find Uzi, leaving just Maniac alive in a 1v. Neo will find and secure another round on the board for Virtus.pro, a well-needed one at the surprising scoreline half.
Absolutely. I think both teams will be happy with this scoreline. I think LDLC should be the happier, although the problem with this is you talk about momentum, you talk about what's needed. Losing that eco, they could have given them that round and could have forced, you know, a better scoreline, if you will, for LDLC. That hurts. That hurts going into the other half. If that happened earlier in the game, you know, they would have gotten over it by now. Hopefully LDLC can recover, not let it get to them. Otherwise, look, great position for both LDLC. I'm sure Virtus.pro are feeling good about themselves. I'm sure they're feeling confident. They know they can take this one out, and I feel the same way too. Look, Virtus.pro are a top-class side, and it'd be great to see how they recover from what's just happened.
Definitely going to be a question, and I want to take into account now the fact that Virtus.pro will be on the T side coming into this. A side that can give you comebacks, you can build, you can grow, you can start steamrolling, adding that pressure on. Is this a side you feel they'll do well? Is this a side that they've got comfort on, do you think? Or do you think they're going to be maybe struggling against LDLC? Because we've heard they have similar styles, occasionally both quite aggressive, both depending on that individual talent every now and then. Who's got the better side now for their team style, maybe?
It couldn't be any more even. I mean, for me personally, Dust2, it's an even side. There's no, CT isn't, harder or easier than Terrorist side. So for LDLC and Virtus.pro here, it comes down to making those revenges, making those frags, getting those entries, getting their foot in the door, and then capitalising on that. We saw LDLC do a fantastic job in the first half, so hopefully they can keep that going. Just for the underdogs here. Look, I'm an underdog. I represent Australia. We're yet to win a game, so I am cheering on the underdogs here. So I want to see LDLC keep up this good form, keep up that teamwork, and stay confident and take it to hopefully take it to Virtus.pro, the champions, if you will.
Yeah, and Dust2 was LDLC's pick. Polaris there in the crowd. And I've got to say, the audience here has been fantastic so far. And I'm hoping that we see another brilliant half as we are now live into the second half here of the first map in this best of 3 quarter-final stages. Virtus.pro up against LDLC. LDLC now on the CT side. T side will be Virtus.pro, and here we go. They're not wasting any time. Bialy opens up towards Apex, and now Maniac surrounded. Gets a good bit of damage, but 0 kills to boot. And now Uzi trying to do a little bit of work. Kelly round the backside does find Bialy, but that bomb is now down and planted. 4 T players in this B site. LDLC gonna have to work on this retake. Can they do it? Snacks already finds Happy. Taz finds Kelly, and Taz will close towards Uzi, and I've got to say it, they made that look far too simple.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. That's the momentum that they wanted to take. They won that eco, they won those last 2 rounds, they stringed them together, and they took it straight into that first round of the second half. They rushed them, they said, look, here we are, we're coming for you, you're not going to stop us. Great entries, great work. Now they're getting the nerves out of the way. They want to do exactly to LDLC what they did to them. So a strong first round for Virtus.pro to bring it even.
Let's see what they have planned this time around. We've known the danger of the CZs now. I think Virtus.pro found out firsthand pretty much what can happen, but the rifle's in play. They're going to be taking this one cautiously to an extent for an aggressive team, I can imagine. And let's see where they build towards. What would you say is the best place to take now this second round in with the threat of possible CZs in play?
Where they go is kind of irrelevant at this point, as long as they go together, and that's what you see them doing. They're partnering up, and that's what they need to do. They need to stick together.
Let's see if they can make this one count. Apex did find one, but Snacks and Taz continue to push through, leaving just Happy and Uzi alive. This should be a clean, nearly clean round, and look at Uzi. Bialy. Well, he get the clean shot. Well, Bialy did take down Happy, so not exactly the ideal way out.
He'll be happy with it.
He does get the Galil, and I think that's time to back out if he can.
Yep, slow things down a bit. Hang on to a gun. They're going to be a kill again here. And look, against CZs, against the pistols.
It looks like actually Passion might find him, though. Bomb is ticking. He's caught a glimpse of Uzi. And my heart almost breaks for Uzi. That's not the man you want hunting you down, if any. A bit of damage here and there. Snacks going for the hunt as well. Will he even make it out? No! Passion takes him down. And it's a good round for Virtus.pro there. They're pretty much back all even now. They're building. That confidence is there with them. They're warmed up 9-8. They've got the slight advantage, but we're still waiting on that first real gun round from LDLC.
Yep. Again, it's still anyone's game at this point. You see Virtus.pro doing what LDLC did on those anti-ecos. They stuck together, they took their time, they made their shots, and they forced the site together, and that's what they need to do.
I think Virtus.pro gonna pretty much bulldoze their way down towards A at the moment. Bialy is leading through long. Pasha and Taz with him. Those rifles just loving this range, pushing LDLC to their limits. But actually, Maniac has taken down Pasha, so we're doing a little bit of damage. And the jig is certainly up, but Snacks does find Maniac. And this should continue surely with Neo finding Happy. And this is just comfortable work, it looks like, for Virtus.pro, but they are taking a little bit of damage here and there.
Absolutely. LDLC slowing it down, keeping them where they are, not letting them get too confident. That's what they want to do. They might not win this round, but if they make them think twice on the decisions they make, that's what they want to do for these ecos.
They only found Apex, but in that smoke, there might be a little bit of a surprise waiting. Don't want to give away too much, but I think Snag just caught a little bit of a glimpse of the gun there. And there we go. Bialy will take down Kelly, and that was just a little bit of a pixel showing through the smoke. But to these guys, that's a big kind of giveaway, but still. Uzi left 1v3. I think he knows this one's not going to be his, but regardless of that, Virtus.pro having a little bit of a shaky start. They've worked out okay on the CT side in the end. Now starting on the T half, is this looking like they're getting better and better round by round, or are we just waiting to see LDLC with slightly better weapons beside them?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we are. It's still early. The second half has started. They've got the start that LDLC had, and you know. Look, it's for me, Dust2, it's such a hard side to say which is better. I don't know if terrorists are better, I don't know if counter-terrorists is easier. It's hard to say. It depends on the play styles, it depends on the teams, and these are similar play styles and teams. So, you know, the first gun round on the way here, so we'll see what LDLC want to do with this, and or what Virtus.pro. Be interesting to see if they actually rush to keep that momentum going, like they did in the pistol, just to get back in their faces. LDLC are now happy to have their guns. Now they want to do something with it. See if Virtus.pro doesn't give him the time.
Nothing landing initially, and seeing the double AWP in play. Actually, Snacks goes for the opener. We got a glimpse then on long. I don't know if he actually connected. No, he didn't. I think Maniac will get away pretty much scot-free down towards long, but at the moment, Kelly rolling with the AWP as well. Galil in the hands of Uzi. Oh, that's a big nade. Kelly down to 37 HP. And there's still a lot of time to play with here. And you said the gravity of this round is absolutely huge. You don't want to start losing this out. This is why LDLC would have wanted Kelly finding Neo straight away. And just the opening pick there. Gonna pay dividend, but Pasha finds one back. Happy goes down 1 for 1. And Pasha's going for more. Pasha with the aggression. It doesn't stop with this man. Completely alone, finally joined by Bialy. And he's got B by himself.
They've taken, that's exactly right. When you've got a player that can do that.
Unbelievable stuff. And now we're going to see LDLC having to build back in here somehow. I don't think you can. Can you really stop Virtus.pro once that confidence is there? And Bialy says no. Bialy says no again. And that is Virtus.pro picking up the first gun round here in the second half. Very important round for them all in all. 11-8. And I thought, you know, with that opening kill going to Kelly, then I was like, nah, that's maybe LDLC's little bit of a foot in the door.
Yeah, look,
but then Pasha just shut it.
They gave Pasha an AWP. They said, listen, go see what you can do. They were a man down. It didn't phase him. He did what he wanted to do. He got a couple of entries. He took a bomb site, like you said, by himself. And look, that hurts. But I guess the upside for LDLC, wow.
Is there an upside?
Great shooting. No, look, the upside for LDLC is that, you know, when it comes down to one player just making shots like that, it means there's nothing wrong with the game plan. Stick to the game plan. Don't start getting nervous now. Don't start doubting yourselves.
Well, Apex, no doubt there, did go for the aggression with the CZ flash up and over, but didn't find much more than the barrel of Snacks' gun. But Happy, feeling confident, goes for it again with the CZs, and they can occasionally rip through teams. I'm sure Fnatic will tell you that. And there we go, Kelly with the triple. Where the hell did that just come from?
The CZ, welcome.
Yeah, indeed.
Welcome to my screen. I'll
so now 1v2. He's picked up the 3. He'd have to go for the ace here. He's got 8 HP. I don't think that's quite on the cards, but that is the power of the CZ. You can never underestimate this thing. Well, he's going for this one. Snacks on site. He's got the drop on him. Oh, no, he doesn't. Taz was watching, and Kelly will fall. But not a bad bit of impact there.
No, that'll hurt their bank system. Look, it won't matter at all if they can't get a round of this second half. Yeah, I'm sure Virtus.pro are rich. You can see their money there. They won't be ecoing anytime soon, absolutely. And look, like I said, LDLC, they just need to keep composed. They need to not get nervous. They need to stick to their game plan.
Well, Pasha tries to hold it again, not going to land that one. It was Snacks who actually got down the player, first of all, the previous time through those double doors. So a little bit of a switch up. It looks like putting a lot of focus towards B here for LDLC, but Snacks has found Maniac. And look at Apex getting aggressive through mid. Does get one, but avenge immediately. It's almost like that first half with those constant avenging kills from LDLC, but now in Virtus.pro's hands.
Yeah, so those revenges will always benefit the terror side, the aggressor side.
Let's see if it's going to work anymore. Uzi does find Taz, so stops Virtus.pro with the easy path through mid, and no one yet willing to find any further pacing here. The T side weighing up their options. Virtus.pro still have time, still have a lot of options available. We saw how much LDLC were able to draw players away from sites with just those smokes and flashes through mid. And I'm curious to see if that's the plan again here, but obviously with Virtus.pro now, as we do see that three-man kind of roaming squad weighing up the options, and they have split a good couple of players apart now.
No, they have, and they're sticking together now. And that's what they need to do in these situations. They can isolate a zone, they can outnumber the person in that side. And Happy has to do something special here, otherwise they're going to be in serious trouble here, LDLC.
Here we go, Snacks opens it up.
That's a great entry.
That's just perfect, absolutely perfect. They drew LDLC away from mid. They pushed in towards B. They took down one. Bialy takes down the second. And now only Kelly in the way, but he gets Snacks, but the bomb's still planted and don't really want to be walking into this situation, but Kelly looking for options. Neo waiting to receive, as is Bialy. This looks like it's going to be 13-8 unless Kelly can do something phenomenal. Bomb is ticking every second now. There's no easy shots to be found. Dangerous play from Neo. There goes to the peak. Both players now showing their hand. Can Kelly do anything? I don't think he can. He's going to try it, but back and forth, drawing them left, right, and center. Neo will secure, and that is the brilliance of Virtus.pro. I love that play from them now.
No, that's great work. They isolated the player. They took the side. They got the entry frag that they needed, and then they didn't get hungry. They didn't get too aggressive. They didn't make any mistakes. They were left in a 2v1 situation. They forced Kelly to, you know, like we said, do something special. And it's just hard to do so against such classy players, such experienced players.
And let's just point out right now, Pasha is on 21-14. That's an astounding scoreline. And indeed, class. You cannot stop the Virtus player right now. LDLC certainly trying. Kelly, valiant effort so far, but as you said, it's so hard sometimes to stop that one player, that confidence player. But right now, Apex is in a great spot. Virtus.pro are working their way up, sure, but Happy finding Bialy might cause a little bit of a problem towards this. Apex in a stunner of a position, gets the tag towards one, stops Neo from dropping down. Kelly finds Snacks, and this is going substantially better for LDLC. There's still Taz and Pasha, and if Pasha's alive, I don't want to call it either way just yet. But 1 minute left. You can't doubt this, man.
See, in this position, I'm sure Virtus.pro are still feeling good. They still feel like they can win this round, and that's the confidence that these great players have, because the fact is, they can win this round. They believe they can win this round, and so long as they feel that way, sky's the limit. We'll see what Pasha can do here coming up to long.
Maniac will be waiting. You can see the focus on LDLC's faces right there. It is intense for them, even though they know the round is pretty much numbers-wise in the bag. But look at this. Pasha goes in. Pasha claims Maniac. And we said you can't quite write him out just yet. Kelly tries to connect. Not going to find Taz too easily. Pasha pushes up long. Pasha goes out. Not going to expect Apex at the cars. And now Kelly should land the shot. He doesn't. Taz gets free reign, but he won't follow up. And Uzi will close out the round. But as you said, even with those two players alive, it still felt dangerous with Pasha standing.
Absolutely. And that's what they do. If two players go out for looking for a pick in two separate spots and they get a kill each, all of a sudden, the odds are pretty much in their favor. They've got a bomb site to take. They can take out one more easily. It'll be a 2-on-1, and before you know it, they're back on even ground. So it's hard to write off any teams. It doesn't matter how early in the round it is, how far behind they are. And Virtus.pro showed after what was a solid start for LDLC. Now Virtus.pro seem to be just looking better. They're feeling good. They're making their shots.
Look at LDLC's positioning right now. Bialy will go for the peak. Kelly opened up with Taz. This is going to be big here for LDLC. Virtus.pro still trying to get towards where they initially intended, which was A. But at the moment, Bialy and Snacks were the only two to make it through the gauntlet of fire. Bialy does find Maniac at least on towards A, but the bomb not exactly in the best of spots here. Already Happy waiting. Happy will stop Bialy, and Snacks back in the hell up. Does go back in for more, actually. Three players literally waiting for him to appear. I'm not really certain he's going to get much out of that one.
No. Snacks knows it's a split-second decision. When you're in a 1 versus 3 like that, you've got one chance to make that frag, and if you don't, you reposition. That's exactly what he's doing now. Again, although it's a 3 versus 1, he's trying to catch him 1 versus 1, and that's exactly what it needs to do. So long as he isolates the counter-terrorists, doesn't allow them to revenge for one another, he's still in a good position. Which is odd to say in a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, normally it's crossfires till dawn, but we're not seeing that. LDLC still happy to roam a little.
Of course, no, LDLC are making the right choices here. They're not playing at him, they're falling behind, they're trying to get him into their crossfire, and
that's what they did.
Exactly, and that's what needs to be done in those situations, because when you're up a few players, the round is yours to lose. And that's the problem, and that's what sometimes can happen with the lesser teams. I'm sure these players, they don't make these mistakes. They know these things. They'll back each other up. They won't get frag hungry. They'll sit down, they'll make him do something special. Without anything special, they know they've got that round 1.
13-10 current scoreline. LDLC looked a little out of it once, Virtus.pro side building, but they have found their footing into the CT side now. Certainly getting a good couple of rounds on the board, and it has forced the Ts to get down on the P250s. CZ's not too much beside them, but still, let's see what Virtus.pro can do here. Maybe get a couple of kills, maybe cut off mid and then force the B. The smokes are going through. He's going to put that one up. He's going to at least draw Apex back, but he has very little vision on this, and those 2 players isolated at B now, one being Happy, peers through. It's going to be Uzi finding one with Happy, and there we go. Good couple of kills back to back, minimizing that threat, but Pasha's still dancing around between the bullets, does get one, but there we go. Dealt with by LDLC, but that was a well-executed round, from Virtus.pro. But
absolutely, a few of their players were on red HP. They were 1 shot away from death. So good work by Virtus.pro. They took a gun off him, though. I think in hindsight they'd be quite disappointed. Even though it was just an eco, they probably don't expect to win the round. Of course, that's their goal, though. They just want to take guns off him. That's why they spent a few $100s just for a couple of pistols, just to take some guns off him that are obviously worth much more. And that's what you aim for on your ecos.
So. Current plans right now, though, your Virtus.pro, LDLC are starting getting a little bit closer. How do you start playing this one? More confidence? Slower? Where'd you
slow it down a bit. You slow it down a bit. You wait for your opponent to make a mistake. It's easy to start making mistakes when you start getting ahead of yourself, if you will. That's what they want to see. Now we'll see what LDLC do here. We'll see if they do get aggressive in certain spots of the map.
I like this.
Exactly like
Kelly. But as you said, aggression could be something that Virtus.pro would look towards to try and manipulate, try and find a way into, but 1 minute left on the board. We will have to see the T-side making their move fairly soon. Flash on long. Maniac will reply with a molly of his own, but still slow round. But I think Maniac did catch a glimpse of one there. Not sure if he's aware of how many members of Virtus.pro there are about to come flooding into him. Tucks himself into pit. He does have support in the form of Apex finding Pasha. And now here we go, push does begin. Kelly finds Neo. Maniac still somehow alive. Kelly is supporting perfectly with that AWP. And now, still Taz and Snacks trying to fight a way through. And they both do just that, leaving a 2v2 situation. Snacks' confidence coming through. Bomb does get chucked over towards Snacks. That should be able to go down. I don't think any player really can stop that just yet. Happy is working up long though, finds Taz first. Tag comes in. 9 HP left. Molly to try and drop it out. Uzi's found Taz, and it looks like it's almost all over, but can you believe it? Snacks hold on with the double. Happy and Uzi go down.
LDLC will be disappointed with that. They'll be very disappointed with that. That was theirs. They should have won that round. Unfortunately, though, great play from Snacks.
Kelly with that AWP as well.
Kelly doing a fantastic job, just like Pasha was, especially in that first half. He's making those entries, and what LDLC are doing better than Virtus.pro were in that first half, although Virtus.pro are in the lead, they're not allowing Virtus.pro to get the revenges. They're getting frags, they're getting the kills, they're getting the initials, and then they're getting out of there. They're repositioning, they're not allowing to break even, if you will. And look, they're still looking good, It's hard to say which way this is going to go. Still, though, Virtus.pro now. Snacks getting taken out by Apex. That's a strong frag. That's what they needed. And he gets that kill, he stays alive, and he's out of there. Now they've got the man advantage. Now it's back onto Virtus.pro to, like I said, do something special.
Let's see if they can muster up anything here. The 26th round, 14-11. Virtus.pro are being pushed by a team that many thought would be a little bit more of a walk in the park, but LDLC comeback might be on the cards. Who knows? Let's see if they can keep this up. Obviously, the opening pick there will be helping them out, but still taking their time, and Virtus.pro showing very little of their hand just yet. But 50 seconds left, they're going to have to start making their minds up, start that final bit of execution. Taz is going searching. Not going to find too much just yet, but on the next corner there could be a couple of kills waiting. Apex is ready, Uzi is ready. Flash comes out, where they go for it, the smoke's in place. Apex not able to hop up, this could be a mistake, but where is Apex right now? Spraying down through the smoke, no connections. Uzi though, will be ready, will be waiting. Kelly as well, but Neo still fights through, finds Uzi. And only Neo and Taz though left to do this. Player still in on that B site, is Happy. They know he's going to be going around this side, and there we go. Happy finds one, doesn't get the second. Neo keeps a little bit of hope alive, but the bomb going down right now, and there we have it. Maniac makes his way through those tunnels, and LDLC claim another round. And take me through that execution in mid there. Was that a mistake from Virtus.pro, or just well played by LDLC?
Well played by LDLC. Look, like I said, they had to do something. They were a man down early, so that they grouped up together. They knew that LDLC would be playing the sides because they had a man up. They were going to force them into their crosshairs, if you will. And great work there by Apex. I think he just threw one flash that was perfectly timed, that just slowed him down as they were executing it, and that hurts when you're ready to take, you're ready to bust out for the boys, if you will, for your mates, and just like that you're blind. So you have to take a step back, which allows the CTs to regroup and mow them down as they did.
Wow, and look at Apex. You can't ignore this man. Straight up mid, no messing around. Wants to really rub a little bit of salt into the wound there, but he will eventually go down to be Ali. But ready and waiting is Happy to peek out, get to, and this is a nicely played out round from LDLC, trying to keep it as clean as possible. But Pasha, he's fighting it. He's fighting this as much as possible, but Kelly will close it down. And that scoreline, it's looking a little dangerous now.
LDLC are playing very well. I mean, there's a couple of rounds there, like I said, that it was theirs to lose. And that's the difference. And Virtus.pro, a fantastic team, they will capitalise. They will punish any mistakes made here by LDLC. And look, Virtus.pro are the better team here, I personally think. Though, if they can't capitalise on these situations that they need to, this game is for anyone's.
Well, at the moment, 28th round, 14-13. LDLC 1 round away from tying this up to a very even scoreline, but Virtus.pro looking to maybe prove a point here, looking to find that real good execution, but Apex has adjusted. He's waiting, and he is ready, gets down one, looks for the second, not going to get it, but Uzi will. Taz goes down, and Virtus.pro's push through mid once again has been halted. Uzi is not done just yet. Neo now in a 1v3, not going to get it. It's all even. That is just LDLC on point. They have worked out Virtus.pro here.
Absolutely, they have. Absolutely, they have. I think right now Virtus.pro would be a little bit worried what they were relying on. And unfortunately, it's tough to say, but Pasha was the one that was keeping him in this. He was making some great plays early on in the first half and the second. And it's tough to rely on one player when a team is playing so well. From what I've seen so far, LDLC looks so composed. They look so prepared. They've done their homework, and again, it's not over. That's the beauty of this game. That's the beauty of this level of competition. It's anyone's to take.
At the moment, LDLC are grabbing it with both hands. Happy once again. The confidence on a stage like this, on such an important next couple of rounds, they're still being that confident, still wanting that little bit of a bite to them. And they're getting it. We get to see really that from Virtus.pro just yet. Obviously just on the pistols here, not going to be bringing out too much. But you never know with these guys. But at the moment, Apex and Maniac ready and waiting. Get the lockdown and send them back. LDLC, 15-14.
That's an eco. They didn't lose any players there. That hurts for Virtus.pro. Absolutely, that does. They got shut down on what was the round before when they had guns, and the LDLC are almost saying, come at us. We're not afraid. We're ready to take you on. We know what to expect. And like I said, they do seem well prepared, and they're just making their shots. I mean, Kelly's having an absolutely fantastic game, just like Pasha was.
Certainly finding his form. 15-8 just on this half.
Great stuff to see what's going to happen this last round.
The current reigning champions of this Virtus.pro. A little bit of a situation now. LDLC on map.
That's confidence.
Point.
What they're doing right now at mid, that is confidence.
Let's see if it pays off. Snacks will be found. Uzi claims it. 4v5. No answer just yet from Virtus.pro, and already that little bit of aggression, that little bit of confidence with LDLC seems to be paying dividend as they now look for the follow-up. They spot out Pasha. They know what's going on. The information flowing as Kelly goes in for the peek towards long. Not going to be too aggressive. Wait for the flash in and then goes for the peek. Not going to game it. And Molly getting a little bit warm under the feet, but having to back away there. But HP damage done. But look at these crossfires instantly. LDLC are setting these up in a couple of seconds.
Absolutely. That's what they need to do. They have that man advantage, though. Right now, from a player's point of view, Virtus.pro are in the position they want to be in. I mean, Kelly's low HP now. He's got that AWP. He'll be playing a bit more nervous. He'll be sitting back a bit, so they can't rely on him right now to get that entry that he's been doing so well so far.
Let's see if Virtus.pro can now capitalize on that fact, but Apex stands in their way between them and A, and right now LDLC on the verge of this, but Pasha and Taz keeping them in this. Will this go to 15-15? But let's find out as Taz up on A, bomb on long, crosses over with Pasha, but Happy is there to challenge. Happy finds Taz, it's all on Pasha now. 1v2, don't tell me he can do this. He gets the tag, he's not gonna find, there we go, Pasha. 1v1. Kelly against Pasha, the two players who've stepped up phenomenally for their side.
I can't believe what I'm witnessing right here.
Oh,
wow.
Kelly!
Get out of here.
Can you believe it? To secure the final kill in that round.
Oh, no.
You said you wanted something special. It needs something special from these guys, and that is it.
Well done, LDLC, and how fitting for it to fall to Kelly and Pasha in that final round of 1 versus 1. Kelly with a jumping USB headshot. Oh, wow, that's great stuff. That's what we want to see. I mean, well
we're lost for words, I think. And someone who won't be lost for words is the Scoot. Please break this down for us.
Yeah, thank you, Pansy.